Hello pen testers, this is Puneet from Rapid Safeguard back again with another video, and in this video we are going to talk about XSE vulnerability. Before we start our video, I would like to introduce our platform called World Machines. This platform is for people who are willing to learn about real-time pen testing and CVE exploits. So in this platform, I have integrated different labs related to Web Top 10, CVE labs, HTTP request smuggling labs, CORS labs, and many more. So check out this platform and share your feedback. So our first slide is what is XSE? So XSE stands for XML External Entity. The security issue caused by the processing insecure external entity data and that are allowed to a reference by constructing a malicious content. It can be lead to any file reading, remote code execution, detection of internet ports and others. So before to understand the XSE, we need to understand what is XML and how does it work. So XML refers to extensible markup language, and XML is markup language much like HTML. But the difference of XML and HTML is the purpose of XML is to transmit data, not to display data. Now let's understand the markup. So XML is a markup language that defines set of rules for encoding a document in a particular format that is both human readable and machine readable. So what exactly a markup language? Markup is the information added to a document that enhance its meaning in certain ways. In that, it identifies the part of how they related to each other. And more specifically, a markup language is a set of symbols that can be placed in a text of document to demarcate and label the part of that particular document. Here I am showing a simple example of markup where I have defined a root and a slash root. So I have defined a root and slash root, tags and slash tags. These are the tags. So root and slash root is a start and ending point of tags and or XML code, and text and slash tags. They surrounded the whatever the string is mentioned is a world machines. So this is the simple example of markup. Now let's understand the structure of XML code. So I have given a simple example over here. So the first line is an XML declaration. As you can see, the XML is in small letters. So XML is a case sensitive. The version number 1.0, where the version is XML version, and encoding specifies the character encoding used in that particular document. So here I have used the UTF-8. It should be any different encoding version, ISO or any different. The second row is a note, is a root element. The third line is a child element called a message tag, and in between the message tag there is a string. It is actual message. So our actual message is a rapid safeguard. First line is a XML declaration. Second line is a root element, and third line is a child element. So this is the structure of XML. So here some of the important for XML and use for the XSE attack. So first is a document type definition or DTD. It defines the legal XML document building block, and it uses a series of legal elements to define the structure of the particular document. So second is a C data. It is called a full name is a character data. I will explain you with the example in a few minutes. The third is a entity. So entity are a way of representing an item of the data within the XML document instead of using a data itself. So entity is giving a reference of data rather than just giving a particular data itself. So entity has a three types. First is an internal entity, second is an external entity, and third is a parameter entity. So here I have simple example to understand internal DTD or internal entity. So entity is like a variable for XML. As you can see on third line, I have declared a foo entity, and the next line the XSE with a red color, and the system calling a system file etc password is defined. So meaning XML is referencing etc password file, and in a tag foo to reference access e. So access e variable is calling an internal entity system file etc password. So this is the simple example to understand the internal DTD or internal entity. Now let's understand the external DTD. So as you can see, access E entity defined with the exploit.dtd. So that is a link, and this example is also referred to access E to SSRF. So this is the XML file. This is a totally different XML file, and the exploit.dtd as a totally different file. So where is n% evil? So n% evil is referred to exploit.dtd entity, evil entity. So the evil entity of exploit.dtd is calling a windows.ini. So this is the calling from outside. Evil is calling from outside, and where I have called the exploit.dtd externally. So this is the example of external entity or external DTD where I have called exploit.dtd externally. Now let's understand the C data. So C data stands for the character data, and it is used to pass a special characters like n%, less than and greater than, because XML is not able to pass the such of special characters. As the XML markup, less than is indicate the starting tag, greater than is indicating the ending tag, and n% is used for the reference. So if we want to pass a special characters like n%, then we need to use the C data. So as you can see in example, like and subscribe rapid safeguard, the n% I have used in the C data. So it will treated as a character data, not as a markup. So these are the possible attacks of XSE, the sensitive information disclosure like read the internal etc password file, SSRF attack, remote code execution, arbitrary file upload, DOS attack, blind XSE. So these are the possible attacks. So I will show you the sensitive information disclosure and SSRF attack with the real-time vulnerability. So lab is available on World Machines for the premium user access, and I will release the different lab for free user as well. So you can practice and understand the XSE attack. So background of the attack is authenticated XSE on WebMin 1.930 and lower version, and any low privilege user can perform this attack using XML rpc.cgi file, and that is allows to XSE attack. By default, only root admin and system admin can access XML the rpc.cgi file. So let's move on to the practical. So we have opened a webmin and giving my test credentials, test user credentials. So we have login with the test credentials. So let's interception capture this request, interception on. So capture the send to repeater, forward and turn off the interception. So change the post method XML rpc.cgi file. XML rpc.cgi file over here. XML rpc.cgi file and send the request. So we got the 401 unauthorized access. So now let's add the authorization header. So authorization colon basic, and give the username and password in a base 64 encode. So here I am giving my username and password and converted encode as a base 64. So username colon password and base 64 encode. So this is the encode, and now I am passing over here and send it again. As you can see, a 200 OK request response we got with the XML error. So invalid an element found at line number 1. This is the XML error. So now let's read the internal file. So as you can see, file entity is calling a system internal file etc password, and this will display on method name tag. So this will display on method name tag, and let's send. So as you can see, this internal file we can able to read. So this is the internal file reading vulnerability or sensitive information disclosure vulnerability. Now let's understand the SSRF attack. For SSRF, I am using ngrok, and for that running a local server on port number 8888. So I am using a Python. So Python m simple HTTP server on 8888. So this is the syntax for calling a local server using a Python. So simple HTTP server 8888. Now let's call the ngrok. So ngrok HTTP 8888. So this link is generated. So we will call the evil.html file. So there is nothing. H1 tag is I have used for evil.html file, and the output will display on the ngrok console. So let's send evil.html file, and output we will see in a ngrok console that whether it is 200 or 404 or something else. So let's send. So as you can see, we got the 200 OK request, the OK response. So as you can see, 200 OK response we got on ngrok server. That means the server has executed this file. So this is the simple example of SSRF using XSE attack. So lab is available on world machines. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you like this video. If you like, then share with your InfoSec friends and subscribe our channel. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching.